just wait, students. We're just inviting all other students of G and H. Hello, hello. Can you hear me now? Hello, 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 hello. Can you hear me now? Hello, hello. I'm requesting you to write or the name and not name, section and the roll number. Okay. Please write your section and roll number. Ensure that all of you write the section and roll number, because see, your comment is actually get logged, and as you are writing your section and roll number, your attendance will be there. So make sure it. Okay, 61 people have joined till now. So shall I start? I think some people haven't till joined. Okay. And actually Ansel is going to take this class because of some your some service internet connectivity is actually unable to do that. Okay, so we just trying to start. Okay, so better we start today's session. Now this session is basically we are dealt with the fundamentals of dynamic memory allocation. Okay, so I'm just writing over here. If it is visible, then please let me know. Okay. Dynamic memory allocation, right? See, actually we are first of all we are actually dealt with what the basics of the dynamic memory allocation, and after that we are going to use or implement some basic fundamental codes, C programs, so that you can understand what is all about, right? Okay. So what do you mean by actually dynamic memory allocation? Dynamic in general in C programming language, we either have static memory allocation or dynamic memory allocation. In array, if we are considered as array, generally array is basically a static memory allocation. Okay. Why? Because array is known as the allocation corresponding to the array is basically happen during the time of compilation. Okay, so that is one of the major factor. And what is this disadvantage of that? The main disadvantage of this is that you cannot resize the size of array. Once you are declaring, suppose you are declaring like this, say a int say arr 10. Okay, so if you write this int arr 10, it means that it is actually fixed. That means you cannot change to any more size, or maybe in the less amount of size. Okay, so that is one of the disadvantage. So that's why can go for the dynamic memory allocation. Now how you can write a dynamic memory allocation? The dynamic memory allocation main advantage is that you can use some functions in order to use or in order to write the dynamic memory allocation. Okay, so main functions that are involved with the dynamic memory allocations are something like that: malloc, calloc, realloc, and finally free. Okay, so these four functions are actually involved with the dynamic memory allocation. Okay, so we actually deal with these four functions in order to understand how the dynamic memory allocation occurs. Now one thing you should keep it in mind, that whenever your dynamic memory allocation occurs, you have to use a pointer variable, right? So basically, first of all, in order to create a dynamic memory allocation, you need to have a pointer variable. So I'm just writing something like this, that you're writing int star a. Okay, now so instead a is a pointer, that is an integer pointer. Now whenever a memory is created, memory is actually return the base address of that that very allocated memory to that pointer a. Okay, so what you can write, like you can write like this: a equal to int star malloc size of int, right? Now this is a complete statement. You can write like this and just decreasing the size so that you can understand that how the thing is looks like, just like this. Okay, okay, so a equal to int star malloc size of int. This is the primary operation that you should do in order to create a integer memory allocation. Now what this syntax all about, just think about that. That is, you are allocating a memory by using this malloc function, and whenever you are allocating the memory, you need to know the total amount of memory or total amount of size that you required in order to allocate that particular memory. Okay, now here this function, size of function, is actually do the same. That means if you want to get a certain size, that size will be actually delivered by this. Now what I am writing size of integer. Now size of integer means this size of operation or function is actually return the size of that particular data type. Now here integer is the data type, so you are mentioning size of integer. Now we know that in 32-bit computer system, size of int returns 4 bytes, right? So actually the allocation will be like that: malloc 4. That means instead of this size of, actually at the system, your size of function itself return 4. Okay, so malloc 4 byte will be there. Okay, so it is the thing that you need to do in order to do the malloc function or in order to allocate the memory. And whenever the memory is allocated, at that time the memory is not been assigned any kind of address, so it is actually any kind of data type actually. So it is basically a void kind of memory that we are going to actually deliver. Okay. Some people are writing not audible. I don't know why. Let me check once that whether it is really audible or not. No, I think no, it is, I think, audible. Okay, it is audible. You check your settings, because it is, I'm checking it. Okay, in the runtime. I don't know why it is happening, but it is audible. Okay. So what you need to do, you need to have this sort of dynamic memory allocation, right? So this is the first thing that you need to do. That means whenever you are writing malloc, you have to provide the number of blocks, number of memory block that you are going to allocate. Okay, and another thing is about this int star. Now what I'm telling, that whenever your memory is actually allocated, it is not allocate any kind of data type, so it is kind of a void pointer. Okay, now whenever it is a void pointer, you have to allocate the data type or the type of that memory that is delivered, right? Okay, so it is basically kind of a thing, that is you are creating a void pointer by using this malloc function, and after that you are assigning int star. It means that it is completely converted into integer. Okay, it is completely audible. It is completely converted. I think it is audible. Okay, Mark Blaze, what is your name? You have to appear with your proper mail ID. Okay, if you are not in your mail ID, then so I'm sorry that you become marked as absent. Okay, you have to have proper mail ID with your name, only then you can appear. Okay, otherwise it will become completely maybe you are tracked, and definitely your attendance will be discarded. Okay, so anyway, whatever we are dealing with is that malloc function, and with this the use of this int star, because that is a very vital. It is always asked that why we should write this int star before it. Okay, so what should be your answer? That it is a typecasting operator which can convert your void pointer into the integer pointer. That means the memory is now considered as int. Okay, so that is the use of malloc function. The same thing you can do by using calloc function, but there are two parameters. In malloc function there are one parameter only. Okay, if you do say calloc function, then we can create multiple number of blocks. Okay, so something like this. Suppose I am writing another expression, another pointer variable like this, star b, and then you are writing star b is equal to int star calloc, then 2 comma size of int. So in this case what happen, basically there are two blocks will get created, right? Two block will be get created, and with this, as two blocks will created, each and every block contains 4 bytes of data. Okay, so if you want to create an array dynamically, you can use calloc function. Okay, so directly you can do that, or else what you can do, you can write malloc function, and along with that you can write like this, a 2 star size of int, something like this, 2 into size of the int. Now 2 into size of int means size of int multiplied by 2, so 4 byte multiplied by 2, it will be your total 8 byte. That means it will actually consider as 2 blocks corresponding to 4 bytes. Each and every block will consider as 2 bytes. Okay, acha, calloc function what I am writing, that see the difference here. Malloc function is basically having one parameter, single parameter. Okay, whereas calloc function having two parameters. क्या क्या parameter है? First parameter number of blocks, second parameter each block का size. ठीक है? So malloc function में हम लोग one parameter देते हैं, one parameter total number of blocks, but calloc function में number of blocks, comma size of each block. Okay, so this is the thing that we can use for this. Okay, so whatever the thing will be there, either you can use malloc or calloc, same thing can be done, only the difference is that calloc function use two parameters, where first parameter is the number of blocks, second parameter is the number of bytes that will allocated per block. Okay, whereas malloc function has only single parameter. Okay, some people are writing some nonsenses, so please do that and don't do that, because you will get tracked. Okay, so please be careful about that. I know that some of the people don't want to do the classes, but it is you will actually suffer for that. Okay. Okay, so this is the thing that we should know first of all. Okay, after that another function is there. The function is known as the realloc function. Now realloc function is a thing through which we can actually reallocate the memory. Okay, we can either increase the size, or maybe I can decrease the size by using realloc function. Okay, but we will tell you later on, because first of all your job is to do the program on malloc function and calloc function. Okay, another function is there that is known as free function. Okay, the free function, basically this free function is used for deletion purpose. Okay, it is actually used for deletion purpose. Now if we want to delete the memory block, then it will become a deallocation. So basically it is something like a deallocation that is going on. Okay, so if we want to use free function, generally your memory block that has been allocated by using malloc and calloc function will get deallocated. Okay, so this is the function that we can also use. Okay, so let me make an example. Suppose I want to make a simple C program with this. So what I can write something like this. stdio.h I can write malloc dot. Achha, one thing I can tell you that whenever you write the dynamic memory allocation in your GCC compiler, you have to use malloc.h header file. Okay, otherwise it won't run. So int main int star a. Then what I need to do, I need to access certain, or need to create certain memory blocks. Okay, so I can write a equal to int star malloc, say 4 into size of int. Alright, so how many number of block will be actually there? It total is 4 memory blocks will be there, and each memory block comprises of 4 byte each. Okay, so this is the configuration. That means basically it is kind of a 4 number of linear memory arrangement. Okay, now you can go for it like this. Say for loop, you can have some ing variable here, I equal to 0, I less than 4, I plus plus, then scan the data, percent d, comma. What you can do, we can use directly as our name of the variable along with the index. So you can write like this, a plus I, so that it can scan and the memory location, within that memory location the data gets stored. Alright, so this is the thing. Now okay, now you just do that is try to print the same thing, I equal to 0 semicolon I less than 4 semicolon I plus plus. Again say print, sorry, percent d comma, what should I write in order to print it? Anybody can tell me what should I write in order to print that memory? Anyone? Okay, trying to increase the font. Font is not clear, someone telling me, that's why I'm try to increase the font, but if we increase the font maybe the alignment will goes down, that's why I'm just wait something. No, it is something like you have to write this basically this is basically the dynamic memory and you are using pointer, so basically try to access them by using pointer, okay, instead of writing a normal array. Himanshu Prasad, you are writing start of error. No need to use this. You just write like this, start of a plus I. Alright. Dipanshu Gupta, you are writing ampersand of a plus I. Why you are writing ampersand of a plus I? It should not be, because ampersand means it is basically address of operator. It is not a value at address. Star means what? Star means it is basically the value at address. So that's why you have to use it. AI you can write, Orpon Odhikari you are writing AI. That is. Aman Singh writing start of a plus I. That is good. Okay. If startup a plus I is the actual answer. Okay. So return 0. You have to understand between the difference between ampersand of a plus I, star of a plus I, a plus I. We generally don't use a plus I, ampersand of a plus I. Instead we use a plus I because a itself is a pointer variable. Okay. Another thing that you could do, if you write this, after that if we write this free a, then what will be the result? Can anybody tell me? If I write, after printing this, if I write this, then what will be the result? Free function is generally used for deallocating the memory. Okay, so as you are writing free of a, it will become completely free. It will delete the memory block. Okay, it will delete the memory block. Okay, so it will be the thing that you can do. Okay, so we have some assignment with us, so you can do them by doing this. You can create this kind of dynamic array and all these stuffs. Okay. Yeah, Nilakshi Lairi asks that whether it is entirely the array will be deleted or not. It is basically when you are writing free function, it means that entirely the content will be deleted. Okay, entirely the block will get deleted. Okay, it is basically freeing up the space. Alright. Yeah, any questions? Same thing we can also do by using the calloc function as well. Okay, so for calloc function you have to write, instead of writing 4 multiplied by size of int, you can have to write 4 comma size of int. Okay, so that total 4 block will be created, right? So this is the thing that you need to do. Okay, yeah. OE6 Orchard, you are telling a demonstration of free function. See, here I have already demonstrated this. You are writing free a, that's all. Okay, no need to write further. You just write free a, it will get deleted automatically. Okay, it will get deleted automatically. It will get deleted. Okay. After that, if you want to print the value of a, you will see nothing. You will say nothing. Okay, so please make sure that when you are writing this, then this is that. Okay. Okay, any questions? No, no. Acha, OISIC you are telling it. So new array, newly created array will be deleted, or just no, no. New entire memory location will get deleted. Okay, entire memory will be get deleted. Free a plus one. If you write a plus one, then it is something like you are actually executing or trying to delete the first memory block. You can check it. Okay, you can check it that whether it is deleting entirely or not. I think that it should not be deleted. Okay. uh, you can check it. You can in a dev C++ or maybe in GCC you can check it that if you write this, then what will be the result. Okay. Yeah. The reallocate function I will tell you later that how it will be do, but let us give some additional example of some fundamental idea of the user defined data type now. Okay, so our next topic of interest is user defined data type. Can anybody tell me what is user defined data type? What do you mean by user defined data type? Anybody? User defined data type is a kind of a data type, uh, is a kind of a data type. Yes, someone is telling structure. It is good. Avitro Pal Chaudhary. Oshik Sarkar is telling type def. It is good. Type def is also used for the user defined data. So fundamentally, you can see you can create type. You can definitely create type def, but we can say that whenever you want to use a user defined, or whenever you want to create a user defined data type, you have to go for the two concepts of your fundamental programs or your C program. One concept is the structure, second concept is the union. Okay, another concept is there that is known as enumerated data type or enums. Okay, so we can have look about the structure first. Okay, so structure is the user defined data type which is majorly used or widely used. Okay, in your data structure part also we have to use the user defined data type. We have to use the user defined data type as well. Okay, so what do you mean by structure? That I'm just going to tell you first. So structure is a kind of user defined data type where you can actually accommodate n number of system defined or primitive data types. So what I can write, you can write like this: struct, then say maybe the name student, and then the block get started something like this. I'm just making bold. Okay, so this is the fundamental blueprint of the structure as a whole, you can say, since we are using the structure as a user defined element. Now within this struct student, what I can write, you can write number of accommodate number of member variables like this. Say int name, int role, float marks or float grade, and maybe char care your name maybe, but you have to store the string, so maybe you can write like this, char name 20. Okay, so this will become the fundamental idea about the structure type user defined data type. Okay, now what you can write in this way. This is one of the way through which you can actually accommodate n number of data type with a single boundary, and it is considered as a student as a whole as a data type. Okay, now another technique that you can use a special type of keyword which is known as the type def keyword. Okay, so you can use type def keyword in order to create or in order to make a new kind of data type by using this structured data type. Okay, so I can write like this: type def struct. Instead of writing directly struct student, you can write, best way is to use like this: type def struct student. Within that you are accommodating role, grade and name. So as a whole, now you can say that it will become a kind of a data type. Now what you need to do, as you are writing type def, after ending of your structure you have to write another keyword. Now major use of the type def is something like that you have to rename. You can rename basically by using this type def keyword. So what you need to do, or what you can do basically, you can do something like that: type def, say I'm writing int then II. If I write this, then what happened, the int data type will become renamed to II. Okay, so that usage we are actually use over here. So that type def keyword, when you are applying type def struct student, means this struct student entire newly created data type will get renamed into student. Okay, so that in second phase you can use only this name stud as a independent data type, Okay, so this is one of the major utility of the user defined data type, that whenever you create this kind of structure, just write type def struct student. Within that, the member may be any number of times, and after that the name of the structure. The name of the structure is now this. Now here the student is actually considered as a simple identifier. Okay, it is a simple identifier, so don't bother about that student, but you have to use this. Okay, so you can see this is something similar with writing this type def int I. Okay, so first of all you have to create this structure. Okay, secondly, in the main function what you can do, you can use this stud structure. Okay, something like this, stud s. So I can say that if we write this in the main function, then it means that you are actually creating a student variable. Okay, so I think the time is not very much left. Pretty much the time, as there is this time shortage is there. So I have already demonstrated you people that how you can create the structure and how you can declare the variable of the structure in this class. Okay, after that I cannot continue the class because of the limitation of the time and limitation of the data as well. Okay, so it is better that we conclude here, because it is 12 o'clock now. You have 30 minutes left to submit your assignment. All the assignment has already been given into the Google Classroom. Follow it, download it, do them, and after that parallelly you have to appear for a IEM CRP test also. Okay, so as you appear for the IEM CRP test as it is scheduled, the test code will also given to you, and you just appear for that test also. Okay, so I think that today we just conclude over here. Okay, the complete demonstration of this will take time, so in the next class we will have the demonstration of this entire structure. Okay, so thank you very much. Is there any other questions are there? If there is question, then I will tell you something, or maybe I will stop the live now. So I think there are no questions. So I think this is 9 minutes have been already done. So maybe I can conclude now. Acha, Nilaksi Lairi, you were telling it said for the type def int, what if there were two integer type data in student? It might be two integer, more than two integer, n number of data type might be there. Okay, n number of integer type is there. So don't bother about that, because the structure basically wrap up all those set of data elements. Okay, maybe it is 5 integers, 6 character, 5 floating point types is there, but no bother about that. It will just you encapsulate all this string in a single, and it will represent this as a single data. We will discuss that how we actually access those members by using dot operator. Okay, in the next class we will actually having that. Yeah, anyone? Anyone? Ajay, what about assignment format for uploading the assignment? Junaid told me format of uploading assignment, it is something PDF or doc file. Okay. Devasis Saha, what is your question? Sir, we'll submit the assignment in a document. It is either document, PDF or doc format. Okay, no problem. Okay. IMCRP test is not given, Deepanshu, you are telling, but we will give you. Okay, we will give you shortly. So you can check it. Okay. Afterwards, after completion of this class, you can check it. As Devasisa, you are telling, handwritten is preferred. Okay, preferred it is handwritten. If you have no time, then you can use documents also. Okay, but preferred it is handwritten. Okay, any other probably, any other people, any questions? All right. Deadline of yesterday's assignment. Yesterday's assignment, don't bother about yesterday's. You just think about the today's assignment. Okay, yesterday's assignment is basically a test. Just don't bother about that yesterday's assignment, but this start with the today's assignment. Then when we do have submit our assignment, just write down. Okay, just study just sad has given answer as writing this, that within 1:15 you have to submit it. Okay, and I think we will also have the arrangement of the IMCRP test. So after the completion of this class, we will submit. You have to appear for the IMCRP. We will share you the test code. Okay, we can submit. Anurag, we can submit as Word document. Yeah, you can submit in Word document. Okay, Jyotini Manokar, is the assignment there is get and put for function. Those things haven't been covered. If it is not covered, then please leave it. Okay, if it is not covered, please leave it. Okay, which is not covered, please leave it. Which is covered, you can do that thing. Okay. Okay, thank you everyone. So I'm just stopping the live, and you do your assignments, and afterwards we will share your IMCRP test code also. Okay, thank you very much.